Hello, hello. I am Bridget Rowe. I am energy, I am powerful, and I am who I say I am. This I'm about to come directly in my face, but anyway, I wanted to do this particular video because I feel like people in general aren't really paying attention or peeping game, so to speak. Not really paying attention when people are talking to them, so to speak. And I wanted to clear some things up to help you make this shift, because this is all about our becoming stage. So first of all, I want to share this here. I'm a speaker. For those that don't know, I travel and speak sometimes with churches, on church panels, universities and certain events or whatever. And there was one time when I began to speak to a group. I wasn't getting paid for this. I was just sharing something with this particular group, sharing just my general knowledge, because if it's in you, you can only give what you have inside of you. So it was in me, and I was sharing this to a group, and I was talking about energy, and I was talking about increasing your frequency, and I was basically put it in layman's terms so they could understand about health and wellness and depression and anxiety, and just basing it upon energy, just kind of like how I do here on my page here. And there was this guy. One out of all of them, because everybody else ran behind me and hugged me and said, "Oh my God, that was so beautiful," blah, blah, blah. But this one particular guy hated the message that I was delivering. They hated the message that I was delivering so much that he yelled. He yelled, and he was like saying, "This is some bull crap, and this is stupid," and just really rude and obnoxious in the meeting. And I was like, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I was shocked more than anything, because those of you who know me know that I'm really introverted. And so because I had my presentation on a flash drive, I was looking down. It was sitting in my hand, and I was looking down at my hand while he was yelling amongst everyone else. And I was like, "God, Bridget, what the hell did you just show?" Because in the beginning I was so excited about it, and then when his reaction was like that, I was like, it kind of made me feel some kind of way. And I was like, man, I didn't mean to hurt nobody. I was tactful in my delivery. I wasn't stepping on any toes. I sent my message with love. And I had been through classes, because I'm so introverted. I took classes about powerful and poised communication skills, and speaking and giving eye contacts, and using hand gestures and your body language, and creating the trust and all of that good old stuff. I knew about that, and I knew I was tactful in my delivery, but it kind of made me feel bad. And I, being an introverted person, I was going back in my shell. You don't take much for introverted people to go back in their shell, y'all. At least to this group of people, because I wasn't getting paid for this particular message. And so I was going to go back in my shell, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not telling them people nothing. They could just let go of the ghosts and be done with. And okay, I ain't going to tell them nothing no more. But what I realized, with time, like I said, I went back in my shell, but with time, I would peek my head right back out of my shell. And with time, what I realized is the reason why it affected him so much is because he was guilty of everything that I was talking about. He was a very depressed person. He was very toxic in his thinking, his eating, his behavior. And he was a different being. Remember how I shared with you all that there's this polarity, they have the yin, the yang, this pendulum swinging, the yin, the yang, the female, the male, the so-called good versus evil, the black versus white. And so he was on a different end of that pendulum swinging than I was. So the genetic makeup of his body was different. And so the things that I was saying to stay away from, he was a type of being that was all he knew. And so he couldn't understand my side of the pendulum. He couldn't understand health and wellness. This is why I'm talking about peep and game and knowing when people are talking to you. He couldn't understand that because that's all he knew. And so I began to speak to that group of people again. And they loved everybody else but this one particular person. Loved every time that I spoke and embraced it every time that I spoke. But this is a low frequency being. And so I made up my mind, a conscious thing that I did was made up in my mind that I'm not going to let lower energy beings affect me and stop me from what I know is my true calling, what I know is my true purpose in life, you know. And so this is why I'm here today, to talk to those that vibrate on the frequency where mankind is going. Or at least those that are trying to vibrate on that frequency where mankind is going in an effort to help them to get there. And so I broke down some things. I've been busy, but I wrote down some things on my notes that I want to share. I want to share this with you because you remember, just like the pendulum swinging, it is a new dawn. Remember that song? It's a new dawn, it's a new day. And I'm feeling good, you know? Well, just like the pendulum, there's day and night, right? There's seasons. If you're into religion, there's seasons. And so the shift that we're going through, physical reality, is based upon the season changing. And because the season is changing and today is changing, and I want to really be tactful with my words, y'all. It's changing, and so day represents a certain type of people and night represents a certain type of people. You know, you ever heard that song? The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. Just like in the day, you know, we have the sun, the masculine energy, and then at night, the moon, the feminine energy comes out. And so sometimes, as far as health and wellness is concerned, people aren't talking to you. You know how like we go to the hospital. When you go to the hospital, you get your blood drawn. Do you realize the blood that is being drawn, the numbers that you get back, or if you're a darker hued being, like they're not really talking to you? That your white blood cell count is going to be different than what those ranges are because they're not talking to you. Well, you know, one day I was in the hospital and the doctor told me, you got to know the game though, in order to, you have to have wisdom about yourself, y'all. You really do. And calling things for what they are. When I was in the hospital, well, I just was there for like a, you know, like a little annual health screening, and the doctor was telling me, well, it was your white blood cell count was just a little tad bit off. We need to run some more tests and see what's to deal with this here and da, 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 da. And I was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, yeah, because I know that, you know, the genetic makeup of my people, you know, dark hued beings or black people normally have a little bit low. I know that that range is a little bit different from me. So mine is really normal. And she began to say, oh yeah, you're right. But if I couldn't peep the game, I would have went in for more tests, you know. If I didn't know that. And so I would have just been a little duck making, you know, getting more tests. You know, it's funny that in the world that we're shifting from, a lot of things were into play, even with food, the food pyramid were into play. And it was for different type of people who have a different genetic makeup from us, you know. And so I would like to believe wholeheartedly that we're more darker hued beings or more herbivore type people, and the lighter hued or the lighter hue or more carnivore type beings, right? And so with that in mind, the genetic makeup of us, you know, the lighter hues might have enough of acid to break down, you know, things in their digestive tract than the darker hued being, because we weren't supposed to be consuming some things that we seemingly can't get away from. And sometimes that saddens my heart, because then you'll have the people that are darker hued and don't think for a moment that I'm against any type of being, because I look at the universe as all being God. I'm just saying the difference in the duality here, you know. But then you have the darker hued being who would come to another darker hued being like me and say, well, where you getting your protein from? Or be like, man, look, I can't, I see you doing your thing over there, but nah, I can't do that. I gotta have the pork. You know, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But today is so important for me to share this with you because I care about these darker hued beings, and I know that with this shift, baby, you gotta get back to what your genetic makeup is all about. Or you might not make the shift. Well, actually, you won't. You won't, because you have to be a light body. I'm gonna have to call it out to what it is. You know, I really like to be tactful in my delivery, but I'm gonna have to call it for what it is. And so they'll say that they don't want to. I had this man talking to me the other day, and he was like, I don't know how you do it. You know, I don't know how you could leave like stuff like ribs alone. And I told him, you know what? Well, with me on my journey, the reason why I really started was because, you know, I was just tired of being sick. You know, I used to wear glasses. You know, I was anemic. I had irritable bowel syndrome. You know, any kind of flu or cold, you know, virus, whatever was going around, I would catch it. And I just got tired of that. And I just wanted to do something different. I said, yeah, you could believe it when you get to a place where it means your life. You know, when I got to a place where I was passing out when I was taking hot showers just because of the temp of the water was so hot, it stagnated my blood just a little bit, and my blood was already stagnated. So I would pass out in the shower after that. You know, it was like, oh, I got to do something different with myself, something that I never did before because I just want to live. So basically, you want to live. You dare to do something different. And it's in this time, in this day, this new dawn, if you want to live, you dare to do something different. Because I want you to pay attention to the fact that the people that are passing, you know, keep the game on the people that's passing. I'm not judging nobody. I promise you, I'm not judging people. People where they are, because that's where they want to be. But I'm just letting you all know, you peep the game on the people that's passing. Everybody's passing supposedly because it's corona, right? Now, these are the same type of people that look in the physical now with these two eyes as if they've been having issues. You know, like, for example, I'm just saying, like, suppose a 300-pound man who's been having, I don't know, breathing problems or irritable bowel problems or kidney problems or whatever. You go to the hospital and he's coughing or whatever. They're gonna say he died because of coronavirus. That's what they're gonna put the label on as, corona. But you gotta look at this now. People that smoke all the time, people walk around, they barely, you can hear them, barely got a little, it's like they breathing through a little straw. They die is because coronavirus. Peep the game, peep the game, peep the game. And then you have the church and the medical industry that rolls up to the government. So peep the game. So, okay, look at it like this here. Remember the other day, and somebody sent this to me because I was not watching no news. The other day, they was talking about a stimulus package or whatever, $1,200 for the adults and I think $500 for children. And then on that same little news clip or whatever, they talked about the corporations and, you know, the businesses and stuff that was going to be receiving funds during this time. Keep in mind, if you peep the game and put two and two together, you realize that the medical industry and the church is going to roll underneath that umbrella, right? Okay. So if the medical industry rolls underneath that umbrella, you know that they're gonna offer, like, you know, even with businesses. You know, I have a business. They're gonna have something for businesses too. Not as big as those corporations and stuff going. But anyway, they're gonna offer the hospitals and stuff money. And I'm pretty sure that they're gonna get an extra little bonus if the people that's passing in their hospital is because of corona. You know, they gotta comply. Sometimes we have these jobs and we gotta do something to comply at work just because we want to get the money. You know, we want to get paid. You know, I'm pretty sure the garbage man don't want to actually pick up trash all day and and pick up some maybe toxic stuff that they have to deal with during the day, but he gotta comply because he want to get that money at the end of the pay period. And so there is no difference for these other businesses that roll up underneath the government, like the hospital. You gotta peep the game. And then all of a sudden, then they'll tell you in this so-called news that certain people are getting this particular virus more than others. Peep the game, peep the game. How do they know this? How do these numbers, these so-called statistics, come out to imply this? They have people that have underlying issues that they're just rolling over to coronavirus. But today we're going to peep some game because I have some questions that I want to ask. I want to ask these questions in an effort for you to understand what's causing this so-called mucus, this disease, because I feel like if we call things what they are, we could better associate with these things. And so my question here is, let's see. Here we go. That's my little page. I had 2 darn papers I was writing on today. Here we go. So this so-called mucus, this phlegm, this cold in your eyes, spitting up, coughing up in the morning, asthma, pneumonia, fluid, feel pus, bumps, or whatever you want to call it. There's different ways, you know, our body and the physical expresses itself. So what is your body saying? What is your body saying when you have this cold? For example, cold in your eyes. You know how sometimes we get up in the morning, well, I mean, used to, but not no more. But sometimes we get up in the morning and we'll have like cold in the eye, and it'll be like hard in the morning. And, you know, you wash your face, or sometimes, you know, like they'll say they have a sty on their eye. You remember the thing was when you had a sty, it was because he was peeing outside. He wasn't supposed to. We come up with all kinds of stupid stuff. It's crazy. Anyway. So what is that? What do we think those kind of things are? We gonna call that what they are. What do you think that is? I like to call, before I get into these comments, I like to call that for what it is. So cold in the eyes, I look at that as, okay, that's mucus. And so that's your body way of telling you, okay, I have so much of mucus inside of me. I can't have a bowel movement because that pathway is already blocked up. It's already blocked up back there because you know darn well you ain't use the bathroom in a couple of days. And so that pathway is blocked up. So I'm gonna try to save your life here. You gotta expel this mucus. So I'm gonna come through your tear duct. I see this little hole there. I'm gonna come through your tear duct and I'm gonna secrete because I gotta get out. If I don't get out, you're gonna die. I probably already expressed myself on your face with fluid filled bumps. You know, I probably already expressed myself in the morning when you were coughing and you had to spit up some old mucus that was sitting up inside of you. I probably already expressed myself when I attacked your lungs and you couldn't breathe, but you wasn't paying attention to that. But I gotta keep you alive, so I gotta show you. I gotta show you these symptoms. Don't ignore all the symptoms, because if you ignore all the symptoms, you will die. But people walk around and they ignore the body when the body is saying something. But here's the thing. This is the next question I have, and I want you to think about these answers. What is your body saying to you? What is your body saying to you? Your body is saying, help me. Maybe you're doing something wrong here. This is what I thought my body was saying to me. That's why I did my lifestyle change. Maybe you're doing something wrong. Why don't you try something different? Do you not feel this dis-ease and disharmony within you? And so I would try. I didn't know what I was trying, y'all. I just started trying everything that was nasty. Everything that I hadn't tried before, that's the things that I started trying. Because I just wanted to live. That's all. That's all. I just wanted to live. I didn't care what nobody else was doing, how they was judging me, because I tried and I let go of the meat and everything. I didn't care about what people did because I lost a lot of weight. And the people that's closest to you, they could be so rough with you and so seemingly cutthroat with you. And some people were like, "Girl, you look like you're on drugs. What the hell wrong with you?" But I just wanted to live, y'all. So I tried different things. And I was listening to my body. I was in tune to myself, even at my core self. But here's the next question. How did that mucus get there? And these are the kind of questions that I used to ask myself at my lower self. Like, how is it that this here, I'm just being transparent with my thoughts. How does that ass so-and-so got energy? And I'm little. I'm smaller than them. I was really only like 165. But I was out of breath, and I would see, heavier set people. Maybe they had their moments, but at that moment I was them, being able to dance, because heavy set people were really light on their feet, and I would see that and I'd be like, how in the hell? Because I couldn't breathe at the time. I would come home and be so happy that I was off from work because I was so mentally drained. And I was like, oh, I made it. I hope nobody don't realize that I'm just going through so much, because I'm so introverted. I keep stuff to myself so much, I like to deal within. And so I was hiding this for a long time. Anyway, and I would think to myself, how did this get here? How did I get like this? Is this so-called genetics? Is this in my genes? Is everybody in my family gonna have to just be sick? No, it can't be, because my sister's she's not going through this, and look at my other sister. She getting around. She kind of bigger than me. I just was comparing, y'all. I was comparing. I was trying to figure things out. I was asking questions, and God never asks a question that he or she don't know the answer to. So my subconscious mind was figuring it out for me and bringing it to me, was showing me examples, was leading and orchestrating my life for me. And so I figured out how I got there. I put it there. Became accountable for everything that I was putting inside of me, from my thoughts to the food that I was eating. And here's the thing, people don't realize that what you put inside of you, some of it is garbage. Just like going back to that duality thing, all is God, but then, okay, we have plants that'll heal you and plants that'll kill you, but all is God. And so some food, fast food, will be so detrimental to you, but you're thinking, okay, well, it's just a burger or whatever. It's just this. Nothing's wrong with it. But sometimes we don't understand what is gonna dissolve or accumulate or be after we eat it. So, for example, I want to call some things out here. We're gonna just call them what they are. For example, ice cream. As I begin to educate myself on the things that I was putting in my mouth, I was like, okay, Bridget, all this time you was eating ice cream, your ass was eating cow puss with a little bit of sugar, with a little Oreos, because you like the Oreo kind, the cookies and cream, with a little high fructose corn syrup, all kind of chemicals, traces of blood and DNA of a cow, right? So in my mind, in my mental, this is how I transformed it. I was eating cow puss, and I ain't want to eat no cow puss no more. This is what we're doing. This is the kind of things that stop us from evolving, because we had low frequency when we're eating or consuming the DNA of animals. Okay, so another thing. So I was, I never really liked sweets, so I didn't really have much high fructose corn syrup, but the cold drinks, I used to love Bog's root beer. Really just sugar, bunch of sugar and high fructose corn syrup. Keep in mind, let's peep the game with the high fructose corn syrup. The high fructose corn syrup brings you on a high. It is a drug, a chemical that's tricking your brain to think you're hungry when you're really full. That's tricking you, consuming more. And I used to drink so many soft drinks. It was like I was addicted. I was on a drug. Something as simple as that. Let's talk about this season we're in, because I'm from Louisiana, New Orleans. It's crawfish season right now, and everybody talking about getting them some crawfish, the bottom feeders. you know, that eat stank ass and dead corpse. We consume that and we make it smell good. We put all of those herbs on top of it and it smells really good. I'm guilty. I used to do that. But see, these things, when we put them inside of us, they turn into mucus. That's where them fluid filled pumps come from in the cold and stuff. And let's not talk about the DNA of the animals. The heavy starches, red beans and rice, because you have to have your red beans and rice, which is a starch, and you pass gas so much after you do it, and it don't even rebel. And starches just eat you up in the inside. But you gotta have your red beans on Monday though. You gotta have your catfish on Friday though. Because you program under this little paradigm, under this little low frequency paradigm that we were brought up into, the same stuff that was given to us, thrown to us as traps at one point in time in our physical reality, is the same things that we can't stop. We'd rather die and never peep the game just yet. Just go die. I wanted to live. I wanted to live because I knew there was something greater for me. I knew I had purpose. I wanted to live though. And then we have these oysters, you know, the charcoal oysters. You know, I'm from New Orleans, y'all. They got these little places. They have some good oysters. Oh yeah, they taste good. But if we peep the game on it, we know that's like a little creature that that's supposed to be clean in the ocean too. Kind of like the bottom feeders, you know, the crawfish and the catfish. Same thing. Just, you know, keep the water clean. You put it in a filthy swine or whatever. You put those oysters in there and they'll clear that water up. Because it's supposed to suck all the toxins and hold them in, but we eat that and we're like, ooh, sure tastes good. Oh, you can get you some zinc from the moisture. So, ooh, I gotta get my zinc. Oh, and that milk, that cow pus milk. Oh, I can get my vitamin D from over there. Because it does a body good. If you're not getting your vitamin D from that SUN sun that's sustaining light, then you will never get no vitamin D, man. But we think and we make up little sayings and stuff, and we're not peeping the game. So we are being destroyed because we are acting as if we have lack of knowledge. And that is a sad place to be. And some people get angry with me to tell them the truth. To speak the truth. The biblical text in Revelation says, come out of her. Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sin. Come out of her. And these are the same type of people, oh, you know, these are the soulful people. They go to church all the time. Go to church all the time. They pay attention to that New Testament. You know, they had two contracts here, the old contract and the new contract. You know, the Old Testament versus the New Testament. When Jesus came back and Jesus said, all is God, just love. All I gotta do is love and I'm gonna make it to the kingdom. Not so. You have work to do. You have to rightly divide the word of truth. Not so. Not so. Not so, because it's going to be your frequency that's going to help you get to the kingdom. How you vibrating? You full of mucus? Or your prayers going up to so energy like filthy rags, like the biblical text says? Do you know your history? Because in order for you to know what's happening in this particular life right now, in this physical reality, you need to pay attention to his story, because his story repeats itself over and over again, lifetime after lifetime again. So I'm hopeful that you or we collectively can get that, boy. That we have work to do. That sitting inside of the house drinking that Hawaiian punch with that surfboard on there, that red Hawaiian punch. I used to like that too. And giving that to our children is no benefit. Giving our children ice cream, hot dogs, and all this heavy meat, and treating ourselves so well when we make steaks and potatoes for ourselves. It's no benefit. So peep game with that right now, okay? So the genetic makeup of certain beings, they love bloody meat. They love it, and they may break down that meat better. But you need to be who you are and attune to the makeup of your body if you want to make it. Not turn into someone else that ran this particular realm in the physical for an appointed time. It is pivotal that you understand that the time has changed. When the Aquarius season actually starts, it'll be the dawn of the new day. Not the night anymore. Everybody's not gonna make it to the new day. You all know exactly who and what I'm talking about. And see, this is why in the biblical text that Jesus talked in parables, because he wasn't talking to everybody. And I'm not talking but exactly white, black here. I'm talking about frequency, energy, vibration here. It's the nervous system here. This is why I named my book, He Who Has an Ear, Let Him Hear, because my book ain't for everybody. I know some people just gonna have to die, stuck in their ways, stuck in their mindset, stuck in their behavior. Let the dead bury themselves, because the new dawn and the new day is gonna come. It's gonna come anyway. Everybody not chosen to be in the new dawn of the new day. Some people operate best in the nighttime. Some people love the night. But we really, as a people, and I mean all people when I say this, all people, we really need to pay attention to that. What we consume in our body, and stop making it make sense, because it does not make sense. It becomes stupid after a while. It becomes redundant after a while. I was driving the other day on my way home, and I'm like, man, don't these people really not just sleep, but they're comatose? I was on my way home, and I saw this line, the line with it was off the highway, and it was 6 feet apart, for the social distancing. And they had, their little face masks on them, mouth and nose. And I'm just thinking, that's a long line. And as I continued to drive, it was a line for crawfish down the highway. And I said to myself, not in a judgmental way of the people that were sleeping, but in a way of, they got masks on, of lack of understanding. Why they got masks on, and why they 6 feet apart? They might as well touch each other and take the mask off. They're about to eat fish. They're about to consume more mucus in their body when everybody's walking around afraid of the so-called coronavirus and the mucus build up, but they're gonna go get some more. Yeah, because they don't understand how this mucus thing work. They really don't. And maybe some of them the understanding don't even care, but just in case, I'm doing this video, just in case you don't understand where the mucus come from, just in case you ever ask your subconscious mind, why is my health the way it is? What could I do? Here's your answer. See, the universe always delivers an answer. I'm your answer. Because I'm a reflection of you, delivering you that which you thought of, because we're all connected through thought. So here's your answer. We put it in there. We put it in there and we're like, no, I get this from my mama. Well, guess what? Mom probably was eating the same thing. Mama cooked the same thing for you. You came up on mama cooking, so mama got it too. That's, you go to the doctor, they ask you, yeah, tell me who in your family has high blood pressure, you know, who has diabetes, da, 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 da. Because normally it's a family thing. The whole family eating potato chips and hot dogs all the time. Nobody in the family is practicing health and wellness, because that's the program that they are under in the family. So they pass that on generation and generation, and then we're like, oh no, it's just genetics. Oh, it ain't no genetics. You could transform energy of anything. It gets to the point where some people just want to be there, maybe, because they don't want to change. This season is calling for change. 5D is not gonna allow low frequency beings in there. Don't get left behind when you're chosen. You know, we always walk around with, you know, with that black power with this, and with the Hebrew Israelites, and we the king of gods, and we all kind of things. We all kind of things. A lot of us don't want to do nothing to change, to evolve to that frequency. Because it's one thing to talk about it, but it's something different when you walk that walk. And I know everybody's on different levels, even for my children. My children are on a different level. They got me that made that paradigm shift for them and took out all of that meat, all of those cereal, all of that milk, and I dare them. Now I'm really good with them. In the beginning, I allowed them to do whatever it is they wanted to do. I had a Wednesday night. Wednesday night was the night we would go out and cook anything you want. Go, we gonna go wherever you want to go. But other nights, I will cook and I will bring them in there and I would teach them, you know, about these different exotic and vegetables, and we would eat them, and we some of that stuff was so horrible, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, but we learned together, me and my children. And on Wednesday nights, I would say, okay, we go, where we want to go. Oh, I want Popeyes. Oh, I want Chick-fil-A or whatever. And I go with them, and I let them eat it. But I had made up in my mind already that I didn't want that no more. And it got to a moment in the journey where because I let them, they came to me and they were like, Mom, I know it's Wednesday, but could you just cook that? Man, when I eat that Popeyes, it's like a whole bunch of grease be like in my stomach, and then it start burning and stuff, man. Something wrong with the food. I let them see on their own. So at the tail end, I feel like I was able to show them by not forcing it on them. But at this moment, since they know the difference, they know about how the pendulum swings, they know the age that we're in, they know milk, pork chops, don't even play with me like that. It's just certain things that they won't even do at this point because they know better, because when you know better, you do better. And so we came up on a little cereal, you know, it's just grains, you know, genetically modified grains, and they spray, just like they do the dog food. That's why some dogs die. They spray the so-called enriched minerals. So just on the dog food, they do that as well as on the cereal. So they enrich it, the grains, with sugar and so-called vitamins, little high fructose corn syrup, little genetically modified ingredients, little paint thinners, little all kind of little crazy stuff that your body won't identify as natural, that's of the universe, but we eat that. So is good, boy. I used to love them Fruity Pebbles. I loved them. I used to eat them for dinner sometime with my little milk. And then wondered how come I became this so-called lactose intolerant. Well, I was never supposed to be eating or consuming milk. And here's the thing. The genetic makeup of some people allows for them to be able to consume milk longer than being a baby. But for some others, we get intolerant with it. So it's like there's this enzyme in some people's gut that allows them to take in milk, and it's supposed to actually come from your mother, when you're young. So you're supposed to be able to take in the milk from the mother when you're young. But as you get old, that enzyme turns off, completely off for a certain group of people, darker hued beings, the herbivores. But yet it stays on for lighter hued beings. And so this is why some people just really will argue with you, because we're different, but yet a collective. So it can be confusing sometimes. Yes, I understand, because some people, you can't tell them to leave milk alone. Whether it is cow, pus, or whatever, they're going to look at you like you're crazy. But for the people who look like me and have a genetic makeup like me, we can't consume that. And then we have to wait till the doctor tells us, you're lactose intolerant. Because the man in the white coat said so. The man in the white coat said, please leave the mucus alone. And then they'll do it when the man in the white coat says it, because they don't really know their history or the genetic makeup of their body and how mucus accumulates inside of the body. And there's just some people who just like, I ain't even know. I gotta have milk in my coffee. I gotta have milk in my coffee or some kind of cream in my coffee. Another drug, another acidic drug. So coffee is so acidic. First thing in the morning, it'll give you that boost of energy, and it's gonna let you back down. And when you let back down, you're acidic. You're supposed to be slightly alkaline. You just had a little bit of cow pus inside of your coffee, and you had a little sugar, a little drug, a little high fructose corn syrup along with that. But you gotta have your coffee because you think you're addicted to it, but you lay off of these things and you try to go back. And it's like, what the hell was I doing? I try to drink a Barks root beer right now, and it's like, oh, Lord Jesus. How was I able to do that? I try to go up in that kitchen right now and try to cook some chicken and be like, oh, Lord, this shit. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. This stuff stinks. It stinks. A dead animal. A dead animal. And I had chicken, I had the pork chop, I had the pig feet, I ate all of that. I ate the crawfish. I did it. I'm guilty. I did it. But I evolved and I stopped, and I'm just trying to show you. And just in case you don't know, just in case you don't get it, what this mucus is really all about. And if you just call it what it is, making groceries or going to the store and getting an animal that's packaged really, really cute, it looks really, really fresh in the meat department. This is a good one here. Can't wait to bring this one home. But if we call it what it is, we're bringing home dead animals, and we're going to marinate his ass. We're going to marinate him overnight. He's going to be some good tomorrow. And then we're going to chew him up. And then he's going to turn into mucus inside of our gut. And then we go wonder, why am I sick? We go wonder. And we're going to ask Jesus to heal us. We're going to ask Jesus to heal us. When you are the healer to yourself. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm trying to help somebody, y'all. trying to help somebody that may not know what all of this is about. And so even in the air right now, so we have all of these little toxic chemicals from the, the chemtrails, and we have all of this dust and stuff settling in the air. Then we got the pollen in the air, the electromagnetic forms of energy, the radiation. So got all this stuff we're inhaling in the air. And so these people that already have mucus built up already inside of them, it's gonna get a little rough. It's gonna get a little rough. And I really, in my heart, I really feel sad for these people because they don't see. They don't see. My heart goes out for them because it's a simple fix, but nobody wants to have the discipline or determination to do it. Remember that song? It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Loving you is like a battle. So I really wanted to share that to the people who were home with their little munchies. And when they run out of food at the house, they go get their crawfish and the other mucus forming products. And they keep on consuming them over and over and over again. I share all of this information on my YouTube channel. I've given out so many jewels. I wish I had a me when I was going through this here that gave out so much step-by-step information on what you can do. And I'm not going to say it again on what you can do. You're going to have to look at that video if that's what you choose to do on your journey. I'm not saying it here on this video. This video is about those that not peeping game. That's not calling things what they are. Because if you begin to call it what it is in the physical reality, maybe you'll change it. If you begin to go to the grocery store and say, yep, I'm going to the store and I'm going to buy some cow pus. And we're out of molded cheese. So I'm going to pick some of that up because I like it on top of my dead corpse. My burger. Yeah, I love meat. Yeah, I love a lot of that mold on my burgers. And then I like to get a little bit of glue so it can stick really, really well on my intestines. Glue is in the bread. So yeah, I love me some glue. It's going to stick really well. It might stick so much that it cause a hole in my stomach, in my gut. Yeah, and then I'm going to have leaky gut syndrome. Yeah, and then my kidneys going to start failing me. Then my liver going to get stagnated because my body going to be trying to save my life. Meanwhile, I'm eating this stuff. I'm doing this to my body, to my temple where the kingdom of God's supposed to live. Doing it to ourselves. I'm not being nice on this video. This one here, y'all gotta hear the raw truth because you gotta want to change for yourself. And if you don't love yourself enough to change for yourself, change for your children, change for your grandchildren, to teach them better. Because maybe you won't make this shift in physical form, but maybe you could inspire somebody along the way. Do it for somebody that you love. If you don't love yourself enough, do it for somebody you do love that live in your house. Maybe we could do it like that. Because few people, really, to be honest, a lot of people don't love themselves. I consult with people all the time. A lot of people don't love themselves. Because when you love yourself, you love everything about yourself. The way you look, the way you feel, the way you treat yourself, the things you buy yourself, how you look at yourself in the mirror, whether you blow a kiss at yourself. When you take a picture, you could take a picture and be done with it, and however it came out. Even though I do this sometimes too, you still love the ones that didn't come out so well. But if you hate even seeing yourself sometimes, that's not love. And how can you love somebody else when you don't love yourself? That was one of the commandments in the biblical text, to love all of thy heart. And where is God? The kingdom of God is within you. And then to love your neighbor as thyself. Well, in order for me to love my neighbor, it brought me right back to loving myself. Can't make it to the next round without loving yourself. Can't make it to the next round because it goes back to frequency, your energy, your vibration. If you're not loving yourself, can't get in. That's a secret code at the door. You got a secret code at the door. We got to understand when people are talking to us. When people are talking to us and when they're not talking to us, we got to know. We got to know. When they're calling for blood, or blood, you know, when you want you give blood, oh yeah, they talking to you then. Because you're supposed to be healers. Yeah, you have that, you're supposed to have that old type blood, you know, that more powerful blood. And they're talking to you then. So then maybe they're not talking to you when they doing the blood range, you know. Maybe they're not talking to you then. And so some people are on pressure pills and stuff. And don't need to be. Some people have the so-called diabetes and can alleviate it and heal it themselves. So people, the game, you know, we have these healers, you know, like I did a tribute in my book to Dr. Sebi. In my book, we have these healers who are no longer here in physical form that seemingly have gotten rid of before this shift came. Before this shift. Because this shift would have been a breeze if everything was going in momentum, with everyone becoming more health conscious and healing themselves, man, we'd be probably fine right now. But we will. We will be. That's how powerful we are. I don't want to go too far along and scare the little church folk, but the shift that we're going to, you all know about it from the revelations. From the book of Galatians, which they kind of wash down a lot. You know about it. You know about the change and the shift. And I guess you would call it, put it on the white robe. Or meeting the bride, the bridesmaids and brides and white candles, and how they did the parables in the biblical text about that. You all know it in that form, but we're about to tap into a crystalline self. And you could even feel it if you have ears, hands, eyes, in physical form. You can feel it. You can feel like it on your face sometimes. I'm sensitive to energy, so maybe some may not be here just yet. Just feeling your face tingling sometimes. Hearing buzzing noises sometimes. Like energy, like frequency, like you ever heard maybe like if you would need like maybe a transformer or like a pad mount or whatever, if you were just around some type of electrical equipment and you get it kind of like make you just want to kind of like clear your ears, like, because we're traveling to another dimension, to another realm, and so we're tapping into other frequencies. The age is inning. People are stepping down because it's time for something else to rise. Time for the other side of that pendulum that's swinging to rise. It's their season. Don't blame me. I'm just telling you what it is. So the shift is nigh, and we have people that are losing their lives because they didn't know how to take care of the temple. They didn't know how to increase their frequency because they wasn't peeping game. They was paying attention to the very ones that was probably causing harm and doing what they said to do instead of doing what they should know intuitively inside of them to do at this time. So how you gonna, you know how people be walking around and they be like, well, I've been doing everything they said, the days of the world, you know. I've been doing everything that they said to do. I've been washing my hands and I've been staying inside because they had said, but I still ended up getting sick. So you listen to somebody who really doesn't have your best interest in mind wholeheartedly. Well, in the tail end, it will be for your best interest because you're going to fight against it. But seemingly, it's not. So they'll tell you to constantly wash your hand, wash your hand, wash your hand, wash your hand, wash your hand. Get rid of all your oils on your hand. Use that, what do they call this stuff? I don't use it. That's why I don't know the name of it. Hand sanitizer. That. Use a hand sanitizer and take all, using it as a astringent to just take all of your oils and stuff that's supposed to be helping you if you come in contact with a virus to protect you. No. Wash your hands. Keep washing your hands. Keep your hands be so cracky and allow exposure for any type of bacteria to get in through the cracks. You know? Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Stay inside. Stay inside. Everybody can't stay inside because we have these children of the sun. These children of the sun, they need the sun. The sun gives them life. The sun actually wakes them up. Hey, birdie, I see you. I see you. The sun actually wakes them up. So they need that. You know, or to go to take the vaccine, you know, the vaccination. Sometimes they're not talking to you because your melanin should be up to par where it is fighting for you. It is fighting for you. That sun giving you energy to be redistributed for times like these. Which is saying because they had said to stay inside the days of the world. And they can say that to you because you don't know who you are. And you didn't peep the game. I tell my children all the time, I ain't raising no ducks. Don't let nobody mess over you. Peep the game. Peep bull crap. Don't get played. I say that all the time. Because I want them to have discernment in life. I'm telling you about this because I want you to have discernment in life too. Sometimes people are not talking to you. In that old age, a lot of things they wasn't talking to you. That the food pyramid, they wasn't talking to you. They wasn't talking to you. Because if they were talking to you, that food pyramid would exist with water, sunshine, herbs, nuts, fruits, vegetables. That's if they were talking to you. That's if they were talking to you. Because that's what we need to survive. Things that are up the earth. You know, if you ever notice the people that from the islands, people from the islands, they don't consume, you know, the same types of food that we do, but what they do consume a lot of is, you know, the citrus fruits and stuff, a lot of coconuts. You remember how I talk about coconut oil? And so don't have like, you know, we have this this yeast, I forget the build up on it. I forget the name of it. The yeast that builds up in our gut, candida, that one. They got so many man-made names and stuff. So the people on the islands, they just don't happen to get that yeast build up, you know, because they don't eat the same way that we do. They don't have that problem. They're around the tropical fruit, you know, and we are the tropical beings that need those type things to avoid dis-ease and disharmony. See, somewhere along the line, we begin to follow other beings that don't have a genetic makeup like ours. And somewhere along the line, we got so firm on following those beings that we turn around and yell, question, neglect, ignore the ones that look like you, made up like you, and they're trying to implant the knowledge in you. You turn around and you show them off. Oh, she's gonna do what she's talking about. I gotta get my protein. I'm a man. I gotta be big. When they have vegan men, who are strong, have muscles, toned, look really delicious. So that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse at all. So like I said, I just really wanted to share that with you all, so you can Peep game on this so-called mucus death, this corona death that everybody just, oh, she had the corona. There's underlying issues with some, but it is a simple fix, I promise you. You want to do the work. Let me look at my notes to make sure that I said everything, because I don't like when I finish my videos and I'm like, oh man, I forgot to tell them such. So let's see. Yep, I sure did. Let's see. All right. Wow. Wow, I did it without even, that's so beautiful. I'm so proud of me. I did it without looking at my notes. I shared with you all everything that I have wrote down today. Let's see, let me look at these comments now. Hello, how are you? Doug Latham, 162. People can be blind to the truth. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Blind to the truth. But I'm hopeful that my channel is a tool that people could use to be inspired and figure out what's going on in this physical reality. Because we can overcome this. We are overcomers. And there's nothing wrong with the other side of the pendulum swinging. Because like I said, collectively, all is God. But it is very important that you pay attention when we're in the midst of changing from one side of the pendulum to another, so that you can exist and you can swing to the other side easily with an easy flow instead of interruption. Because at the end of the day, those that pass on, they'll have to go and connect back to source and just come back on in and increase their frequency until they get to that other realm where we're going. But for me, I've been here many lifetimes, and I feel like I'm bored, so to speak, tired of doing the same thing over and over again. So sometimes I just look and I'm like, I just really don't understand. I just don't understand. I remember being told, and all you're getting, get an understanding. Because I just like to try to understand, because when I was in that place, I just wanted to live. And I said to myself, well, do these people not want to live? Do they not see it? And you would tell somebody that's at that frequency all kind of things. And even for me, for example, when I was at low frequency, there was this lady that told me about pork chops, because I love pork chops so much. And she told me about them. in the little maggots and stuff. She was something about doing the cold drink thing, putting cold drink on it and the maggots will come out or something. And I was like, girl, well, I just put some vinegar or something on it, get rid of the maggots or whatever, but I'm still eating my pork chop. I was in that place. But here's what it hit home with me when I began to have the harmony and the dis-ease in my body. And I looked at my children. So this is why I want to share this with you all. So maybe some of you have children and you never looked at it the way that I just called it out. So we don't want to give our children the short end of the stick. And a so-called treat in this physical reality is really not a treat to them. It's really not a treat to them. You know, it says, train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they grow old, they will not depart. You know, you could pass on all kind of things. You know, you could pass on money, you could pass on a house, you know, to your children. But why not pass on some knowledge, some wisdom, consciousness? Because the soul lives on. If you don't implant something into their soul, into their consciousness, what have you done? What have you left? Money? Well, what's going to be the deal when money is no more? What did you leave them? For me and the ones that I call family, I leave them that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding. I leave them an example of how to do it. You might not want to do it, but you're going to see me do it. My children said, Mom, when you going to cheat? And don't get me wrong, sometimes, like the other day, for example, and I don't call it cheat because it's a lifetime. The other day, my baby boy, it was his birthday and he loves still, I know why, because of all the stuff in the food, the chemicals in the food, making him still love it and reminisce on it. But he still loved Chick-fil-A. It was his birthday and we went to Chick-fil-A. Because that's where he wanted to go. That's what he wanted to do. And so then afterwards, he's like, come on, let's go home so you can give me some herbs. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, give me something. I was like, well, what kind you want? He's like, I don't know. Get this stuff up out of me. I said, oh, so you go and get the stuff and then you go come back to me. They're going to tell me to get it out you. But at least they have that knowledge. And let me tell you, one day, and I posted this on my Facebook page, one day I called myself just saying, okay, I'm old. I haven't been to this place, Wendy's, in years. I'm going to go over here and order this spicy chicken sandwich that I ordered, I used to like years ago. Now, I already knew to the universe was going to have to teach me a lesson, and it sure did teach me one. I already knew better, but I said to myself, now, I had vegan food at home. I had to make and cook some chickpea soup that particular day, and it was really good. I had leftovers. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to go over there, check out that burger. Worst case, I can eat the lettuce and the tomato, and maybe pinch off the bread, you know, because I really wasn't that hungry. You know, when you're vegan, you don't really be that hungry. And so I went over there and I got that darn burger, and they had plastic inside of it. And I really messed up my head because I thought about, you know, what if this was a little child that would have just swallowed this here? Where did this come from? Was it trash? You know, was it cooked? You know, because plastic, you put it on the fire and it becomes, you know, it leaches toxins and stuff. And so it really disturbed me. But in my mind, I already knew that type of food was garbage. So the universe was going to deliver it to me in a garbage style. You know, I already knew better. Even my children told me, Mom, I could have told you not to go there. I could have told you that was not a place that you need to ever turn around to ever experience again, especially that particular location. But when you know better, you do better. And out of all of them years, I set myself, and I knew better. And out of all of them years, I set myself up and I went to try that. And it was just like I figured it would be garbage. Sometimes we do the crazy thing. But that was just a one moment out of all of the years that I slipped up and I went over there and my my boys would be like, Mom, when you gonna cheat? But this is a lifestyle for me. It's not that I'm trying to prove or be better than anybody, because some people look at me and they be like, she thinks she's so that or whatever. I'll nibble here and there when I go by people, whatever, and try, because I don't, just for the sake of not wanting to appear as if I'm trying to be greater than anybody, because it's not about that. It is about what I know. That's why I do better. It's about what I know. It's about how I relate to food. Yeah, you can bless it. Yeah, you get to a place where you can bless anything and you can give life to anything. You can. But I just choose to deal with the paradigm shift that I created by calling those things what they are and leaving them alone. And transforming the energy when I need to transform the energy. Working your superpower when you need to use your superpower. Like on this water right now. With all of this stuff in the air right now with the water, you're not finding good, perfect water. Some of the waters out there got people back hurting, head hurting, and twitching because of all of the chemicals. Use that type of energy for things like that instead of knowingly going and get something that you know is not even real food. That's what I like to use my energy for. But nonetheless, I just wanted to share that with you. Live life exactly. Tell the truth. I just want to share that with you all. Because when we really, really know better, we really, really will do better. And we'll really peep the game with this little stuff that's causing mucus and causing sickness and causing disease. And we'll allow people to become accountable. Become accountable for what you're putting in the temple or the kingdom of God. If you want to see God, if you want to rise to the next dimension, become accountable. Even with habits like smoking a cigarette, becoming accountable for that. And just breaking that down and calling it what it is. Why would I just roll up some tobacco and paper and light fire to it and put it to my mouth and inhale it and make it go into my lungs and create an environment where it's hard for me to breathe? Call it what it is. Because all is mental, all is mind. And if you begin to call those things what they are, maybe, just maybe, your mental will allow you to release that thought, that way of behavior, and make the shift. Because this is all about a paradigm shift. The third dimension might tell you, hey, I need meat. I need my so-called protein. But the fifth dimensional plane is telling you, no, that's a paradigm shift that you've been programmed to believe. Man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God or the universe. See, this is what it's all about, that old versus that new. It's about transforming the way that you look at things so the things around you can begin to transform as well. Okay, y'all. I've been running my mouth long enough here. And it's about to get dark. I just really wanted to share that with you all from my heart to yours. I am hopeful that you got something out of this message, that you can make the shift. That you can make the shift in this lifetime. Be blessed.